All right. Hello and welcome to Peridot Cup 1v1 tournament. And we have, I believe we have 6 participants in this tournament.
I thought it was 5, but it could be 6. Last minute ads and all that.
All right. And this match, the first match of the tournament, we are seeing match between Senzar and Destroyer127 on IO. Have you had time to look at the map?
I've looked around at the map. There look like there are plenty of resources here. There are good scavenger. There's good founds for everyone. So I think we're going to see some late settling just because of that. It is a glass colony, so players will probably want to be able to do glass, and it's going to be robot versus elite. This is interesting.
Robot versus elite match on IO map. So that means that we might be able to see a slow game if both players manage power, or very fast game if somebody rules with power. That's what I'm expecting because they all use quite a lot of power.
However, there is a very interesting way to solve your power problems. There are 2 adjacent geotherms near the top right of the map.
Double geo. Big commitment, but also it's tasty if you can manage to get it for cheap.
But I expect to see nukes since everyone's going into basalt platforms. I really think that nuclear plants are going to be the way things are going to go.
Absolutely.
Except for maybe the robot, who also has a single geotherm tile really near his base, so maybe a geothermal borehole and build around that works well with the robot blob strategy.
So we're on Sol 1 and both players upgrade to the HQ2. Power is rising very steeply at 92, and everyone is consuming about 3 in total. When you include colony, it's like about 4 consumption per second.
Yeah, and Senzar is the first into fuel, and that's an okay market here, especially because he got that high carbon quarry, so he's trying to make a good push into there, given that a lot of fuel is consumed on IO, not necessarily a bad play, but he is going to need a solution for power.
But it will be very difficult for them to get in if they don't get into it right now, because Sulfur Frost is coming in 45 seconds, making every building construction slow and painful and not happy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something very interesting if he just builds that geotherm tile, or probably won't get it fully built in time, but if he can get a good portion of it built, and it comes online a little ways into the Sulfur Frost, that'd be okay.
The colony has
the tile.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we are going to see like 300 power, maybe even 400. It's going to be very, very nasty.
Well, thankfully he's got it building, but he only had it about 20% done by the time the Sulfur Frost hit, so it's going to be a very slow construction. I think this hurts Destroyer more. Although, no, Destroyer actually has the geotherm up and running.
Already? So there's one just built?
Yeah, Destroyer was almost ready. It looked almost ready. But he actually got one, in good position.
Yeah.
So he was watching that Sulfur Frost come down and caught the little first bit of it, but that means he actually has, an ability to cover his power costs, not going to die to debt of it.
Although this single geothermal plant is not going to be enough to cover, like make some profit out of it, because they only have 0.5 surplus. So this power price is going to continue to be in this position, and Senzar goes into double solar panel. No, single solar panel and double nuclear plant. They will finish when after the Superfrost is done.
Yeah, well, he's going into another solar plant.
Going full on power with 78k debt. Will he be able to pay all his debt?
Yeah, the thing with Destroyer wasn't he was going to make money off of it, it was that he was not going to like suddenly rocket down to debt. We see Senzar already in B, while Destroyer is kept AA, which is going to be really important there, because elites are weak early, and he was managed to avoid a major punishment that came down that Senzar got clip mined. Now Senzar has really doubled down on the power market and is crushing that power price, making nearly 10 extra power a second, and is quickly climbing out of that situation.
He burned through that power in mere matter of seconds, and is going to make power money soon.
Okay, because Destroyer was not ready to capitalize on that high power price. Senzar's gonna get away with it.
Still making $2,000 per second, and he is his stock price, stock buying movement, a move to kill? Do you think he is going for the kill? But I don't think his source of money is going to last long enough to buy all 5 stocks.
Especially because it's an elite. Elites have that protection, and when those glass kilns come online, he'll just auto sell the glass, buy up his stock, and that will be the end of that.
Yeah, I think his move was a bit too premature. He should have used the money he got to capitalize on other markets, like a glass, for example.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, the thing about it is, elites are very protected from a quick majority buyout with their extra 2 pips. He's even upgrading, you know, he's not so much worried about it. He knows he's got enough cash income. Well, possibly. Now he's got a freeze on him. That was a very nice freeze there, taking out pretty much all of his money-making capability.
And meanwhile, Senzar went into his own triple glass kiln, extracting this money out of the market, and hopefully, by the time this freeze is gone, the glass will not be worth much.
Well, power price is dead. He's got to figure out what to do with those nuclear plants.
I think he will just leave them on, at least 2 of them, because if he gets out of it, it's going to rise again. And nuclear plants are not very cheap to build.
True, if he built a patent lab and got nanotechnology, that could be better. The other thing is, though, he does have that geothermal spot, and if he does it right, geothermal borehole, he really won't have to worry. And another freeze. Oh, this is the painful part here.
Yes. So Senzar has 75k of cash in his hand, and Destroyer was only in single market glass, and he keeps freezing this market and selling his own down, denying them money. And another upgrade.
Yep, he's gone for another upgrade, and is continuing to expand, getting some oxygen coming in, which is a good idea. If you're making glass, you'll need a bit of oxygen. Is there any late game building he's bringing online yet? He's bringing on a patent lab now. He got rid of one of his nukes, where he had the goon, and is putting a patent lab there, which is a good reuse of a goon. He's also got a optimization center under construction.
Yeah, I don't see.
Going for nanotech.
I don't see much late game ability, late game sustainability from Destroyer because Destroyer does not have any special buildings and not much diversification of markets. Can only access to glass, steel, and maybe some other market.
It doesn't matter diversification of markets. He has no markets. He's just frozen out all the time.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
If you're not, like, he's an elite. He can get into markets. That's not the problem. The problem is not being able to get that little bit of cash to be able to get into other markets.
It looks like now water and food is good market to be in, and of course metal mine, aluminum. Senzar could use some of this aluminum, but his tiles, high value aluminum tiles, are on top of power or patent lab, so it's hard for him to get access to it. So this aluminum price is still crazy, going up and up and up. And nobody is mining it.
I mean, Destroyer has a very high near him. If he could get down a, just a mine there. And the game is like, you know what? Let's make aluminum even better. I don't think this patent is worth very much considering aluminum costs more than glass.
Yes.
Congratulations.
But Senzar has the extra cash to burn on it.
Yeah, after all, it was just a 7K, so it's not a big deal.
And he paid for it with debt, not cash, so he'll make it there. And he's about to get Superconductor online, which will turn his geotherm plant into a 4-power upgrade, which is basically going to give him all the power he will need during the course of the game, unless he wants to move into the market for a little bit of a power play if power rises. And he's also getting water processors online,
Yeah,
which
they will
also generate a bit of power. And if
they will
they're connected to
cover.
his base, which
Yes, continue.
yeah, if they're connected to his base, they will also double the amount of power they put out. So he's just going to have power solved, which is really nice for a robot.
Senzar is in very good shape. He's making. He's producing almost everything that's he needs to produce. That's things that are profitable, and optimizing as well.
I like this thinking machines play, as the oxygen is now a 42k launch, so if it goes into an elevator game, he'll be well set for it. He's upping his water production.
Although I don't think he will need this launch because he is at 200 and he needs 400k to finish the buy if this sword does not defend. Maybe hacker array can be great.
For Destroyer or Senzar?
For Senzar.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everything is pretty much going great for Senzar at the moment. The person who needs a way to get out of it is Destroyer. And I guess eventually, because now he has an optimization center coming online, he'll eventually get there. But it's just... And he finally got a aluminum quarry online.
I think it should be time for Senzar to make a move, start buying into the stock, because this stock price is it's actually falling right now, so maybe you should wait. But the earlier you make him a move when your opponent cannot defend themselves,
and now's the time to get in. He upgraded, which is going to raise his stock target price, so grab it up now.
Very well. He got all the stock.
Raises his stock price defensively because he owns more stock now.
So he can sell 3 stocks. He will get like 100k or less.
And more freezes are coming down.
I think.
Finally, a retaliation EMP.
Mm-hmm.
As far as good patents are going out there, I don't see a lot. Or maybe synthetic meat. Synthetic meat can be really nice at this moment, looking at the price of food. Because I see an idle... Oh no, it's back to a metal mine. I thought it was still a patent lab. I was wrong.
The first 4 optimization that Destroyer has chosen for extra claim, I guess, is silicon. I think this was a wrong choice, considering that there are other markets, better market actually. Like fuel is extremely profitable. It's probably because Senzar, yes, okay, Senzar is manipulating the price.
Mm-hmm.
And even mutinying ion collector.
But especially a good one to go in with elites, if you don't know, is always chemicals, because you need chemicals to get your upgrades, so you're going to naturally put demand on chemicals. And his chemicals are auto off. Maybe if they were more efficient, they could come back on.
Yeah, Senzar just needs to sell out of his own stock. He does have enough money to finish the buy in his stock.
Yep. And what I'm really going to say is I think this game was kind of over when those 2 freezes came down early and basically Destroyer lost 2 minutes of the match. And these matches aren't that long. So that was probably 10 to 20% of the match where his base was just basically doing nothing.
Senzar was building a space elevator and then scrapped it to get the money and finish the buy. It was a nice and clean execution of the entire match. Getting the power under control and controlling our opponent's building so that to deny their money making possibility and then make your own to lower the price. Very well done.
Yep. And if you look at the black market here, Senzar went there a total of 10 times. 5 of them offensive. While Destroyer only went there a total of 4 times, 2 of them offensive. So you can see the power of the black market to cut things down. We didn't really get into optimization. Senzar's got a lot of good patents to help him. And if you look at production and sales here, you can see the power where Senzar made his initial push.
212k sold.
Yep. And then with the glass, even the best market for Destroyer / Frosty was glass. And even there, Senzar had him beat. So you can just see from what was going on here how just Senzar took a commanding lead and then just never let up off the throat. And that's the game.
That's the game.